Hello students. Say I want to try to make a video of the mantel clock and get it all in one video, quick, short and sweet. So here's our project. Okay, I'm going to show you how to complete it today, and we put a stain on it. You'll get your choice of stains, and yeah, let's get to it. Show you how to build this project, the mantel clock. Let me put on my GoPro here and let's get started. So here is your drawing. All right, shows you front view, top view, side view of the what we're calling the back, and up here is the clock base, a front view and a top view and a side view of the same part, and then your feet, same thing, front view, top view, side view, and with dimensions. So you've got three parts, right? The back, the base, and your feet. So let's get to it here. Step one, select your wood. You'll get a big board and you'll have to cut it up, right? So after we measure it and put chalk on it so we know where to cut, we've got the radial arm saw. We've got the miter saw where you can cut it to lengths. And then we know from there, we've got the joiners to join a straight edge. We've got the table saw to cut it to width. So we want to cut them to rough size. And as you've been told, rough size always adds an extra inch. So for the base, you're going to want 13 inches. For the, for the back, the base is 14, so we would go 15, wouldn't we? And your instructions tell you to make two bases, and we're going to cut the foot out of the other base part because these pieces are too short to hold on to. So we make two of these, and we'll cut the ends off, and that way we can keep our fingers 6 inches from the blade at all times. So here we go. We've done step one. We've selected our wood. We've cut everything to rough size. So I've got my parts here rough size. We are ready to take them to the sander. Okay, surface sander over here. Okay, I have to be here when you're surface sanding, right? And we're going to sand it to 3 inches. And I've already done that on one side. See how it cleans it up? Okay, this side, lots of mill marks, even footprints. It's dirty on this side because we haven't sanded it. So we would want to sand both faces of all three parts. Okay, and it says take it down to 3/4, so we'll do that. Okay, after we sand, we are ready to join an edge, and you know the joiner, right? Join an edge on all three parts so we have a straight edge. So let's do that real quick here. Here's my back. I'm going to turn it on. After we joint, we mark it, right? So we know which edge is jointed and which edge is not jointed. The straightest edge, of course, goes against the fence on the next process. So what is that? So I just did step number 5, join an edge. Use the back template to carefully trace our pattern. So I've got that right over here. Here's the pattern. We put it on your back. Okay, and I've got multiple pieces here, but here's a back. It's been jointed, right? Make sure I can see with the GoPro here what's going on. All right, so I'm just centering it. I've got a little extra room there, and I'm tracing it onto the back. Okay, there it is. Then I got to find the hole. This is just a scrap piece. I'm just showing you how. I would never pick this piece with a knot in it, right, to be a part of my project. So the drawing says that our back is 12 inches long, so our center point is going to be at 6, and then it tells us to come up 2 3/4. So I'm gonna draw a line with my speed square here, so I can measure on it 2 3/4 of an inch right there. Okay, And I'm going to use a scratch awl so my bit finds that point and I'm nice and accurate. So let's go over and I'll show you that on the drill press here real quick. So here we go. I've already got set up. Wanted to show you I had to cut the corners off. You'll have to do that too to fit into this holding jig. Okay, so I've got it quick clamped down. This is my back, and I turn it on, and I've started it so I can save some time. You're gonna have to go pretty slow. It's a big hole. You can't push too fast or hard or it'll stop the bit. The belt slips. There, I got through, and I turn it off. See how my circle is now in the bit. Notice that this cutter has this groove here, so I can get in there and I can take that circle out for the next person. We couldn't drill another one with this piece of wood in there. Okay, so I'm using my screwdriver here and going from side to side until I get that out. Okay, and I can unclamp it and we move on to the next step. Okay, what is the next step? We just did number 8 with the drill press. Okay, cut our hole out. Now, next step, it says line up your back center point on, we did that, step 8, relief cuts. So check it out. So this is one that was done, and I'm on the bandsaw. I'm ready to make relief cuts about every inch where I've drawn there. Notice my lines, they do not touch, okay, the pencil line. I hope I'm getting this, that my angle is not too much. So you want to stop about an 1/8 inch away from your actual profile, because it's going to make a really rough cut on this bandsaw, and we want to sand it smooth with our next step. So how do we do it? Over here we have to rotate the red button and it comes out, so it'll turn on. If it's in, it won't turn on, but if I rotate it, now it turns on. And I am ready to start with my relief cuts. Notice how I stopped short of the line. I don't want to get any closer than that. Don't have your fingers in the path of the blade. Keep them 4 inches away to the side. Okay, so I'm cutting all these relief cuts about 1 inch apart like I've got drawn out, and then I'm ready to start my profile cut. If I get too close to the line, I can back out and start again. But those pieces drop out as I cut. Okay, so you're going to do that. You come in from different directions. We don't want to twist that blade too much, or it can break the blade. So here I am. That's about what I want. Notice I've got the pencil line plus 1/8 of material. Okay, so next step, when I'm done, I turn it off and I use the brake to stop the blade. Never walk away from this machine with the blade turning, and you can use your part to knock all the scrap blocks out of the way. All right, so let's say I've got all those relief cuts done and the profile cut out. I'm now ready to sand. I've got 3 sanders, oscillating orbital sander here, and we've got the end of the belt sander that we could sand that profile. So 3 of you could be sanding all at once. So notice how my line is showing. Okay, line is showing. I'm going to sand up to the line nice and smooth. It's a really rough cut so far. So I'm going against the rotation, and you're going to have to be patient. Okay, you're going to sand up to your line. Don't push too hard, you'll burn your part or you'll damage the drum. Okay, so we just take our time until we get right up to the line. Okay, you'll do that all the way around. And what's the next step? Okay, so that was the belt sander and oscillating spindle sanders. Says we need to router. Step 11's where I'm at. I'm ready to router. Okay, here's the router bit, router table. As you can see, I've already done, it says do the front face, so I've done that, okay, all the way around. And now I'm ready to do the top profile on both faces. Do not do the bottom edge. Here's what that looks like. Keep it moving. Keep it moving so we don't have any burns. Other side. All right, so I've routered the inside of the front face and I've routered both faces of the top edge of the back part. Okay, what's next? That was number 11. We're ready for the 4-step process for the base and feet. So I've got my base and feet here. Okay, do you remember the 4-step process? We join an edge, number 1. We rip it to width, number 2. We square an end on the table sled or miter saw or radial arm saw, right? We square an end and we cut it to length. So that's the 4-step process. We also, part of step 12,